Welcome to Average Joe's Kitchen. This is the reboot of Cooking for the Average Joe, but we're doing things differently because I have an actual kitchen setup now. We've gone professional. I have my own business and whatnot, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of the recipes that I use inside my kitchen. We're still going to be going back to doing some things at the house, mostly with grilling and some little tips and tricks on how to do barbecue, normal recipes you would do indoors, except outside on the grill for basically for keeping your house cooler in the summer, but also adding a little next step to your cooking repertoire, or whatever you want to call it. Today what we're going to focus on is making it a nice fun little dessert that you can do with for basically under $3. So hope you enjoy it. Let's get started.
1, 2, what's in the stew, and 3, 4. Well, no one's really sure. 5, 6. What's in the mix? And 7, 8. This stuff tastes.
Okay, welcome back to Average Joe's Kitchen. We're going to be doing the basically we're making our own house-made gummy snacks, and to do it, it's really simple. You start with 2/3 cup of water because we're using 2 packets to make a nice double batch. It's 1/3 water per packet of your gelatin that you're going to use. So in your pan, you just drop in your 2/3 water. Now we have original unflavored gelatine. You're just going to take it, just sprinkle it in. Because it's a double batch, obviously, you're going to use 2 packets. Just get that in there really good. Then use your favorite gelatin dessert. This one happens to be a Jolly Rancher green apple flavoring. Again, just pour it on in. You'll see it's already starting to absorb the little bit of water we put in. And pour a second packet in. Now this is going to have to sit for about 5 minutes to absorb the water that's in there. We're just going to give it a quick little stir, or a little shake up, so that it can start to do the absorbing. Now again, just let that sit for 5 minutes. Then when it's done, we'll come back and show you how to finish this out. Okay, our dessert has been sitting for a bit. You'll see it's clumped up together. That's more than fine. You want to put it on medium to medium-low heat because we're going to melt everything down and pull it all together. You'll see how it's going to start coming out. It's going to start breaking down and becoming a nice liquid. What we want to do is we want to melt it all back down and dissolve all the crystals, all the gelatin crystals that there were. So we just got to bring it down, keep stirring it. And you really don't want to stop until it's all dissolved. So you want to keep going. The dissolving process will take about 3 to 5 minutes depending on your cooktop. I'm using a induction cooktop, so it'll be at the lower end of that. At the most it'll take us 5 minutes. You'll start to see this lighter color come up to the top where it's going to start to bubble and all that. Don't worry about that. Keep stirring it, let it dissolve. I've turned the heat off. I'm just going to simply keep stirring it until I feel that it's dissolved enough. It's still a little grainy, but that's something you got to deal with. Certain gelatin brands are going to be grainy, and they're going to take a little bit extra work to completely break down the granules. So keep at it. And what you're really looking for is for it to just run off like that. And on your spoon to have as few granules as possible. Right now we kind of got some granules on there, but it's something we got to deal with. I do not suggest using a whisk, as a whisk is going to whip air into there. It's going to cause it to foam up a lot more than just the heating process will. So get a spoon and just got to keep working it. And I think, yep, I can work with that. So we're going to move our cooktop over to the side. We have a mold. I'm using a silicone mold, so I don't have to grease it. It's nice and already silicone molds are already nice and slick on the inside, so you don't have to worry about greasing it. If you're going to use another type of mold, I suggest hitting it with a little bit of oil first, just to grease it up. But from here, it's quite simply, just pour it in, and it gets to the top, just taper it off. End this first. And remember, this is a double batch, but this is also a deep mold. This is a mold for making like cake balls or individual little stand-up cake, decorative cake things for a party. So scrape as much of it in as you can. If you want to get a spatula and scrape it down that way, by all means go for it. It's going to maximize how much you get out of it. But in the end, that's about what you're looking for. Now you want to just let it sit for a little bit, come closer down to room temperature. Then you're going to put it in the freezer for about 20 to 25 minutes. Once it's nice and sticky to the finger without yet firm as you push in on it, that's how you know it's done. And what I like about this silicone mold is when you pop them out, it looks like the candy dots, except on a giant scale. So we'll show you that once it's done. Okay, it's been about a half hour, give or take, and our gummies are nice and set. See how you push on it, and it's nice and firm. You're going to have these bubble bits on the bottom. That's not a problem. That's just the foaming that occurs when you make Jello or gummies or whatever. And you want to get in there. You want to loosen them up. Just want to pull them away from the edges, and then give it a push, a pull, and voila! You got your gummies out. It's another reason why I like using the silicone mold. You can get it as rough as you need to get them to come out. You don't have to worry about them breaking because they're thick enough in this mold to where they're not going to fall apart on you. Now, not everyone likes the foam bit on the bottom. You can just cut that off. It's not a problem. Yep. Gummies came out just right. Tastes like sour apple. And there you go. That's all there is to it. Now you can use any mold, any flavors. Just remember, if you're not using silicone mold, if you're using a hard plastic mold, you are going to need to grease it with oil or hit it with a little non-stick spray, whatever you need to. But these are good. And if you don't like the bottoms, just take your knife and carefully cut through. And that's all there is to it. So, see you next time on Average Joe's Kitchen.